Okay, well, it's my pleasure to call to order the business meeting of the 74th SACRAO Annual Meeting. Here's the gavel. We are in session. The first order of business is to name a parliamentarian. Joe Poppery, will you serve as parliamentarian this afternoon?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate you. We discussed the items that we're presenting today at the town hall and have made them available on our website, and for most, if not all of you, by email. If you did not receive an email, please visit our website and update your information. We'd like to acknowledge our past presidents who are here. Ordinarily, we'd have you stand, but we can't do that. So I just thank you for your service. We want to honor you. And I look forward to joining your number before the end of this meeting. Now we will turn to Angela Brocklesby, who will present our awards for Honorary Member and Distinguished Service Award. Angela?
Hi, my name is Angela Brocklesby, and I am the VP for Communication and Recognition. One second here. The slides scared me for a minute. So the honorary membership is reserved for members retiring or leaving the association who made significant contributions to the profession and SACRAO. The Distinguished Service Award is given to individuals who have earned a minimum of 100 points through exceptional service to the organization. This year, we have 3 recipients receiving both honorary membership and the Distinguished Service Award. So the first recipient we have is Wayne Banks, who receives both the Distinguished Service Award and honorary membership for his dedication and years of service to SACRAO. During his tenure with ARC-ACRAO, SACRAO, and ACRAO, Wayne received the Emerging Leader Award in 2017 from ACRAO. Wayne has served on numerous committees, including member relations, information technology, and many more. In 2017, Wayne served as the Nominations and Elections Committee Chair for both SACRAO and ACRAO. Wayne has also served on the Executive Committee as VP for Program and Evaluation, VP for Records and Registration, and was President of ARC-ACRAO in 2008. Wayne has always been an enthusiastic and dedicated higher education professional, especially in his role as registrar. Wayne will be retiring from Southern Arkansas University Tech in June 2021. Our next recipient is Michelle Forbes, who receives both the Distinguished Service Award and honorary membership for her countless years of service to SACRAO. Michelle has served on many standing and program committees, including auditing, recognition, and awards, resolutions, and nominations and elections. She was also the newsletter editor in the early 90s. She served on the Executive Committee as VP for Program and Evaluation, VP for States Regional Membership, and VP for Professional Development. According to her nominator, Michelle has always served without desire for praise or acknowledgement and shied away from high-profile EC positions. Nonetheless, without hardworking members like Michelle, SACRAO would not function. After over 30 years, Michelle retired from LSU Law Center this past year in 2020. Our next recipient is Dr. Lewis Hunt, who receives both the Distinguished Service Award and honorary membership for his numerous years of service to SACRAO. Lewis served as president of SACRAO from 2017 through 2018. He also served on the executive committee as VP for Information Technology and VP for Admissions and Enrollment Management. He was the recipient of the Margaret Ruth Van Perry Distinguished Journalism Award in 2004. Lewis has been an integral member of the SACRAO and higher education community. He has dedicated his time, expertise, and leadership to serve our organization, and we appreciate his many years of service. After 38 years, Lewis is set to retire from North Carolina State University in June 2021. Let's thank our recipients for their service and wish them luck in their next endeavors. Just a reminder that all plaques and certificates will be mailed to the recipients to the addresses provided. And I want to thank everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Each year, SACRAO recognizes an outstanding presenter from the previous year. We make this selection based on the evaluation scores from the attendees, along with input from members of the executive committee. This year, our recipient not only received a very high overall rating, but 93% of the respondents also voted for her to be the outstanding presenter. So it's my honor to announce that the recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Presenter Award goes to Brenda Schumann. Congratulations, Brenda. She serves as the Director of Records and Registration and Deputy University Registrar at the University of Texas at Austin. Now I'll ask Julie Taylor, serving as SACRAO Secretary, to unmute herself so that we can officially approve of last year's business meeting minutes.
Hey everyone, my name is Julie Taylor and I have the honor of serving as Secretary of SACRAO for this year. I am here to present the 2020 business meeting minutes. Those minutes were prepared and submitted to the Executive Council for review, and those have also been emailed to you all for your review. So I hope that you've had time to look at those, and I make a motion to approve those minutes for the fall or for the 2020 business meeting.
Thank you very much, Julie. Do we have a second? You can second by putting something in the chat that says I said we have a second. Very good. Is there any discussion? If there's any discussion, you need to post that in the chat as well. I'm seeing no chat. So
was there a second?
we'll all in, yes, there was a second.
Okay. Thanks.
I see several names in the chat, so you can pick whoever. I see Jody K. Torres, T-O-R-R-E-Z, as a second. So if you approve the minutes as published, select yes. If not, select no. So please vote now. Melissa, are you able to see the results live?
Yes, we have 64. Well, here I can end it and show, 67. There are no no's and 68, 69 yeses out
That'll be
of
fine.
87 people here.
We currently have 101 participants, so we have approved those minutes. Now I'll call on Jonathan Reese to come and present the treasurer's report.
Okay, thanks, Steve. I'll quickly share my screen again. And hopefully, I lost controls here. Let's see. Let's try this again. All right. Seems to be jumping to a different screen. So let's swap screens. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes, well, you might want to switch your view.
All right, so you're seeing my notes?
Yes.
Gotcha. How about now?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, sweet. Thank you. Wanted to go through a lot of this topic and the town hall meeting yesterday, so I don't want to spend a lot of time this morning in the or this afternoon. Sorry, getting confused here. Time zone changes. Looking at the current assets we have right now, $17,588.96 in our checking account, $192,213.83 in our savings account. The two LAC accounts together, $5,097.28. That's for the 2022 LAC, the 2023 LAC, $5,448.20. Total assets right now, $220,348.27. For the income for the calendar year 2020, which is also our fiscal year, $68,511.50 budgeted. We ended up with $137,362.25. Within the administration, we budgeted $17,254.50. We actually spent $14,499.16. Within the annual meeting, we budgeted about $21,131. We actually spent $268. Within the committees, we budgeted $7,250. We actually spent $4,507.96. For public relations, we budgeted $16,100. We spent $5,767.20. For our publications, we budgeted $575. We ended up spending $760.63. So for the fiscal year 2020, our income again budgeted $68,511.50. We actually brought in $137,632.25. Our expenditures budgeted $62,310.50, and we actually spent $25,802.95. So that's an overview of the budget versus actual for last year. Now I'm going to move into the proposed budget for this year. I am going to note some changes. I did mention some things yesterday in the town hall meeting that I want to clarify today before we perform our vote. So originally yesterday, I had indicated that we would have no expenses or no money brought to the virtual conference. Yesterday, what I said was accurate in the fact that it's going to be a wash with regards to this virtual meeting, but that doesn't sit very well. I put in zero here, and I put in $2,000 estimated expenditures for this meeting. When the next treasurer comes on board, this is going to be a little problematic because the way I had set that up originally yesterday. So we know this is the first time we've had an annual meeting where we actually know the results at the meeting. So we know we brought in $5,800 already from corporate sponsorships. So that's income coming into the association, and that's going to help offset the costs that we have within the association. So it is a wash, but my original representation of having $0 there would not be beneficial when this report has to be given next year. So I did want to highlight that. What you see in orange, as auditors like to say, you don't like to do things in red font, so I did not do it in a red font. I did it in an orange font. So $5,800 is income coming into the association with regards to the annual meeting. So that brings our total income to $64,813. I'm proposing a 2021 budget for administration at $15,145. That is no change from yesterday. For the annual meeting, I am showing a change from what I mentioned in the town hall meeting yesterday. I indicated it providing $2,000 there for covering any kind of expenses around the conference. We did have expenses with regards to the conference. We spent roughly $4,500 on the virtual meeting platform. And then we have some gift card amounts in there as well. And then there's also some fluff in there just in case something else that I'm completely not aware of might come up. We want to budget for that for this meeting. So I made my adjustments. So instead of 2,000 here, I'm proposing a budget of 5,500. So that brings our total for the budget for 20,500 in the annual meeting category. Until we get to the final totals, what the next few screens are pretty much what I talked about yesterday. So for committees, I'm estimating or budgeting for $500. For the public relations, again, budgeting $5,800. For the publications, $420. And for our final income and expenses, again, adjusting for the corporate sponsorships that we have. We are very appreciative of our corporate sponsors. We were able to add some additional money there, so $64,813. And then total expenses with the additional cost of the virtual conference that we're hosting today is $42,365. So anyway, so again, you'll see, in fact, you may see that we're potentially making a little bit more money than I originally projected yesterday with regards to the annual meeting. So, so I hope you'll forgive that omission. I woke up in the middle of the night last night with this realization that the next treasurer is going to have a little issue with that. So I wanted to make sure that was fixed before we took our vote today. So it does more accurately reflect income and expenses with regards to this virtual meeting. So, and so I did want to mention too that before I forget that we did have an external auditor to audit our records this year. So and that report has been shared with the executive committee. So, Mr. President, I move to I forgot my statement here that I'm supposed to say, but anyway, I move that this treasury report be accepted or presented and approved by the membership.
Second.
Steve, you're on mute.
I'm back with you now. So that was the motion by John, seconded by Melissa Hyatt, informing our parliamentarian of all that. Is there any discussion? If so, post it in the chat. I see no discussion. So Melissa, if you will put the allow them to vote, please vote yes if you approve the budget, or no if you do not. And we currently have 101 logged in. So Melissa, when we get up to a good number, please let us know.
Looks like we've got 69.
69. So the budget stands approved. Now we will go to Karen Beckett. Please unmute yourself and give us a membership report.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. So I think you muted me again, Steve.
You're good now.
You're good now. Okay. So, well, it said the host muted me. I thought that was you. Okay. So this past year, as we know, COVID-19 affected most, if not all, of our member institutions, and many of us had budget reductions. So to that end, all member accounts were graced until December 31st of 2020. And at that time, any institutions that didn't renew were classified as lapsed, and access to online features ended and non-member rates began. So that was kind of what was going on last year. As of today, I'm happy to say we have 373 active member institutions with one more pending payment. We do have about 188 member institutions that are currently in a lapse status, which is almost a third of our membership. So we're hoping, we'll reach out to you, but hopefully as we get back to some semblance of normal, institutions will have money again to rejoin SACRAO. So we look forward to that. Membership renewal began in May of last year, and we had 194 member institutions rejoin by the end of June. We sent a reminder and notice that the deadline was extended to October. By the end of October, we had another 116 renewals. And then again, as I said, due to COVID, we extended it to December, and we had 37 more join us. So that was good to see. Once we decided and announced the online conference, we actually had another 16 institutions join in the last 60 days. And some of us can attest, we had a number of people joining yesterday. So that was fun. One of the things I did want to remind the membership about is our tiered membership. This is the third year since we've changed to the tiered membership model based entirely on your student enrollment. To that end, each institution can have an unlimited number, and let me say that again, an unlimited number of members. So this allows for an increased professional development opportunities for more of our member institutions. So every member of your office or your institution can have their own login, and that way they have their own account and can access member resources as they need it. So I encourage you to sign up all the members of your office who would benefit from our messages, our meetings, our communications, and just the camaraderie of the folks here in SACRAO. If you're concerned about how to do that, each institution has at least one key contact, most have two, and they have the ability to access and add and update the members. You can add new people, take out people who've left, update their information, or folks can do that for themselves. All that's needed to add someone to the membership is their email address, which would become their username, and then you can create your own password online. If you're not sure how to do that, there are some how-to guides under the membership and membership FAQs on the SACRAO website. John Reese designed those last year, and they are still very effective. But if you need help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to assist. So just a couple more statistics for today. As I mentioned, we have 373 active institutions, and as of this morning, 2,924 individual members. We are up to 43 corporate sponsors who are active, and within those companies, 199 individual members. We have 4 associate members, and we have 46 prospective members who are looking to join. So those are some great numbers. This year, we had 7 new institutions join SACRAO. So if you haven't been officially welcomed, allow me to do that. We want to officially welcome Arkansas College of Health Education, Edward Waters College, Enterprise State Community College, Sherman College of Chiropractic, Thomas University, William Carey University, and Xavier University of Louisiana. So thank you all so much for joining us. We look forward to interacting and welcoming you to SACRAO. In addition, we had 4 new corporate partners join SACRAO this year, and we'd like to welcome GradPack, Ivy.ai, Motomatic, and Scholarship Magic LLC. Thank you so much for joining SACRAO and your support. It is very important to us, so we thank you. Steve, that is the end of my membership report. I would like to respectfully submit it for approval.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that report. That's not something we need to vote on, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I am going to interrupt the order of our agenda because I was just made aware of a scheduling difficulty. Usually we have our invitation for the next conference at the end of the meeting, but Chris Riggins from Little Rock is going to have to leave. So I'm asking Chris right now to go ahead and extend an invitation to Little Rock. Chris, can you unmute yourself?
Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I was just in the process of emailing John the information, actually. And so, but we do bring greetings from the state of Arkansas. And so we do want to encourage everyone to join us on next year for our 75th SACRAO annual meeting. It will be held in Little Rock downtown, Marriott Hotel, and the State House Convention Center, which is the entertainment district for Little Rock. So we do want to invite everybody. The date for that in 2022 is February the 6th through the 9th. So we will hopefully look forward to get that information out to everyone by mid fall. And so the LAC looking forward to working with the EC, and good to hear that all the corporate partners are still excited and looking forward to working with Hope and getting them involved as well. So we invite everyone out on next year.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate you. Several of the panelists are clapping for you. Appreciate that. Now we will go to Hope Reynolds, who is helping us as a past LAC chair, and in the last month or so has been serving as corporate partner liaison in effect. So please, Hope.
I don't have a lot to report, but just wanted to send a heartfelt thank you again to all the corporate partners that joined us this year virtually. I know it was new for all involved, and I really appreciate your patience in setting up your virtual booths and giving it a whirl. I do want to let the membership know, the people that joined us for the conference, you will be able to continue to get into the Go to College Fair's SWOGO site and visit the corporate partner booths, I'm told, until about May. So if you didn't have as much time as you wanted to do that during the conference, please take a minute and go out to their booths and view their videos, find their contact information, try to make a connection with them. And then I also just want to thank one more time the corporate partners that provided sponsorships for the closed captioning for the conference as well, because that was a new territory that we navigated with the conference. And those sponsors were National Student Clearinghouse, Parchment, and Paradigm. And then finally, thanks to Parchment last night for sponsoring the happy hour. I think we all had some well-deserved laughs, and it was just such a light hour at the end of the day. And we all will remember laughing over a foot for quite some time. But thank you all so much. And I hope I get to work with you again in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Hope. Next, we will call on CG to report on the Constitution and bylaws and site selection.
Okay, so at the 2020 SACRAO meeting, the vote to allow for online voting of changes to the Constitution and bylaws was unanimously passed. So rather than having to wait for the annual business meeting in person that may or may not happen, this change will enable us to be more agile in getting word out about important issues to the membership and to make changes which are important to the operation of the association. So there are two possible changes that I will highlight today that have been in discussion, and both of these involve additions to the executive committee so that this executive committee body can better serve the organization. First, due to the high demands placed on the local arrangements committee and the critical relationships that we have with our corporate partners, it was suggested that a corporate partner liaison be added to the executive committee. This would be a more dedicated role to interact with corporate partners and ensure that there's the greatest benefit to our members and to the corporate partners that we work with. Second, one of the most demanding jobs on the executive committee, and one that can have a rocky transition in terms of permissions and access, is that of treasurer. Just as there is a presidential triad, we are suggesting a treasurer dyad. This would mean adding a treasurer-elect to the executive committee. Some state organizations have this model and it seems to work well. The incoming executive committee would formalize the details of these two positions and put it up for a virtual vote. These are just things that are in discussion at the moment. And Steve, would you like me to go in on the site selection or right on into that? Okay. So Chris brought greetings from Little Rock. We are very much hoping that we'll be in person in Little Rock in 2022. There are two other states that we were in discussions with, Kentucky ACRAO and Carolina ACRAO, which are possibilities for 2023 and 2024. But at this moment, nothing is solidified. And that's the end of my update. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve, very much for your presentation. And next, we will move to Patrick Frazier with nominations and elections. Patrick? Are you there, Patrick? Need to unmute yourself.
Hold on. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I see him.
One moment here.
Ooh, I see your belly now, Patrick.
I'm trying to
Not your best look.
share my slideshow.
Okay. Okay, we see it now.
So on behalf of the Nominations and Elections Committee, I do want to take a moment to recognize the 2020 committee members. Myself was the chair for this past year. Brenda Schumann is the chair-elect and will be serving as the chair for the upcoming year. Ryan Garrity, Lou Jimenez, and Melissa Johnson all made up this year's Nominations and Elections Committee. I'd like to go ahead now and present the slate of officers that have been selected by the committee for the upcoming terms, beginning with the president-elect, John Reese from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Then we have the program vice president for professional and personal development, which is Cynthia Terry from University of Alabama at Birmingham. Then the program vice president for records and academic services, Evan Wright, Trident Technical College. Then the vice president for communication and recognition, Diana Hall, University of Florida. And the treasurer, Jessica Brock from Arkansas Tech University. These are the individuals that have been selected by the Nominations and Elections Committee as the slate of officers for the upcoming terms.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. You can stop with your...
Do you want me to do the Nominations and Elections ballot as well, Steve?
Oh, yes, please do.
Selection for the Nominations and Elections Committee ballot. The committee chose 8 individuals that'll be on the ballot. These individuals will be up for vote by the membership. The membership will select 4 of these individuals to be the upcoming year Nomination and Elections Committee members. The individual that receives the most votes during that process will be named the chair-elect and will serve a 2-year term, while all other members serve a 1-year term. The Nominations and Elections Committee ballot for 2021 is Angela Brocklesby from North Carolina State University, Cindy Peterson from Piedmont College, Matt Cash from the University of South Carolina Beaufort, Megan Mitchell from Austin Peay State University, Shannon Tipton from Eastern Kentucky University, Sandra Contrell Johnson from Marshall University, Taylor King from Columbus State University, and Whitney Pischke from Radford University.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. Are there any nominations from the floor? If so, please post those in the chat as well. I see no post there. So do we have a motion to accept the slate as presented? Please post that in the chat. I need a motion. I see a second already. Okay, it's been moved by Jody K. Torres and seconded by Emily White. So is there any discussion? If you have any discussion, please post that in the chat. Seeing no discussion, Melissa, we're ready to vote again. If you're in favor of the slate of new officers for the 2021-2022 term, please select yes. If not, select no. And Melissa, we're at 96 participants, so let us know when we get to a good number.
Okay, we've got 66 so far.
And they're all affirmative.
There's one no.
Okay, we're going to accept that. Congratulations on our new SACRAO officers and on our new nominees. 98% to 2%, we'll take that. And our nominees for the N&E as well. Congratulations. The report from the president, C has already covered most of the changes that might be happening with the executive committee. I'm just reporting that we're going to be voting online to whether or not to establish those positions. And if they are established, we'll have nominees for those positions at the next annual conference meeting. Now we move to the transfer of office, and typically I would be handing out awards to the outgoing executive committee members, and I wish I could do that face to face. First, we have Megan Mitchell, who served as Program Vice President for Professional and Personal Development from Austin P. And Megan, I first met you at a summer planning meeting and at St. Petersburg. And you were not the LAC chair, you were the next to be LAC chair in Murfreesboro. And I was very impressed with you there and thought you did a great job in Murfreesboro chairing that. And I'm pretty sure that conference made us about $9,000, $10,000 or so. So you did very well. I appreciate your work there. It's been an honor, and I look forward to your continued service. I know you're up for the N&E committee. As president, I can't make any endorsements, but love you and I appreciate you, and I wish you well, and I know you'll continue to serve SACRAO. So thank you very much, Megan. The next one is Cynthia Terry, Program Vice President for Records and Academic Services, University of Alabama at Birmingham. Cynthia, I first met you. You were on my program committee, and when I rotated off, you became the chair of that committee. And I remember meeting with you. I wrote up a page that said, if I were a new program committee chair, here's what I would want to know. And I went over it with you. Well, you did better in your first year as program chair than I did in my second year as program chair. So I'm not sure I taught you anything. I think it was just a lot of natural skills. And you've gone on to be a program VP, and I see that you're shifting. You're still going to be a program VP, just with a different group. So appreciate your service and your continued service to SACRAO. Angela Brocklesby, Vice President for Communication and Recognition at NC State University. Angela, you are wonderful. You're amazing. Anytime we needed something, bam, you were there. Last week you said, should we do a newsletter at the end of the week going into the conference? And I said, well, I don't want to burden you. You know, we're all really busy. And she comes up with this 12-page newsletter that is amazing. And I'm thinking, wow, how in the world does she do this? So Angela, we appreciate you so much. You have been Johnny on the spot for us, and I just really appreciate it. Then John Reese, treasurer, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Don, you have been an amazing, amazing treasurer. That's one area I never had to worry about because you were there and totally solid. I would never want that job, but I'm so glad you were in it and you did so incredibly well with it. I'm amazed, and I appreciate you. So there you go. Well, now it's time for me to make my closing comments as president. I'll need some water. It's been an incredible run. 2 years ago, I was asked to serve as president-elect only 2 days prior to the conference. From then until now, it's been a wild ride. When the conference was over, about a month later, we learned that we had suffered a significant financial loss. And so we went into what I called SACRAO lean, and we just kept our expenses down. We cut the summer planning meeting expenses in half. Everybody was being very frugal at that point. And then when I began my second year as president, well, we had COVID-19 and the world changes for all of us and all of our jobs get exponentially more difficult. And SACRAO kind of takes a back burner, but we still have to go forward. And then getting ready for this conference this week, what happens last week but a snowstorm like we haven't seen in decades, and people don't have power, they don't have water, they don't have heat. It's kind of hard to have a Zoom meeting to prepare for the conference when several EC members don't have power. It's just incredible. Some of us are still having to boil water. I'm having to bring my own water to work because I can't use the faucets here yet. That was a snowstorm that we hadn't seen in this area in probably 40 years. So my year as president began with COVID and it ended with Snowvid. I would not have chosen these times, but it's not for us to choose the times in which we serve. It's for us to do the best we can in the times that we're given. I'm hopeful for the future of SACRAO. Over the last 2 years, we have rebuilt our financial reserves by $100,000. That's not something I did. That's something that we accomplished, all of us, pitching in together. The EC sacrificed. Some of you didn't go to that summer planning meeting 2 years ago because we just could not afford it. The Alexandria LAC provided a huge financial boost. Not only did they decrease expenses while putting on a great conference, they also increased revenues. The figure that we report that they returned to us says about $65,000. But they also covered several expense items that SACRAO normally picks up. So the actual financial benefit to SACRAO is much higher. SACRAO owes a debt of gratitude to Hope Reynolds and the Alexandria LAC. All of us working together have helped to move SACRAO toward financial stability. I look forward to the newest member of the presidential triad, John Reese. John brings a wealth of experience with SACRAO, probably 20 years, and he has a great desire to serve. He performed so well as treasurer last year that we invented an award just so that we could give it to him. So I am looking forward to seeing him as president. I have some thank yous. Thank you to Daniel Strickland for encouraging me to do my very first SACRAO presentation and to encourage me to become part of the SACRAO leadership. Thanks to Joe Poppery. When I spent 3 years at summer planning meetings in various roles, it coincided with your 3 years on the presidential triad, and I grew to admire you for your wisdom and insight and your calm and even demeanor. Thank you so much, Joe. You will always be special to me in my heart. Thank you to CG and Andy Green, my first presidential triad, for your support and encouragement. I just love you both so much. Thanks again to Hope Reynolds for your incredible gifts and your service to SACRAO. You are an inspiration. I want to thank all the presidents, the past presidents who encouraged me when I first became president-elect. And I want to thank this entire executive committee and the previous executive committee. Your gifts, your talents, and commitment to SACRAO have made all of this possible. These last 2 years have shown me what an incredibly gifted group of people we have at SACRAO. And it's been a great honor to serve as your president. Last year when I became president, I asked myself if I could lead this organization. And I had to say, no, I really can't. It's too big. There's too many moving parts. But when I asked myself if I could serve this organization, then I could say, oh, yes, that I can do. And that's what I've tried to do, to serve you as your president. And now I get to pass the gavel into the capable hands of our new president, our next president, Kim Taylor. And I wish you well in the next years. So Kim, here's the gavel, and I'm passing it to you. Do you have it? You're on mute. You need to unmute yourself, and now it's your turn to talk. Did you get the gavel? All right, good, thank you.
You didn't think that could happen, did you? Thank you, Steve. So it's difficult to know what to say about Steve McLeod. He truly has a servant's heart. As the story goes, as he just described, he was contacted a few days before the conference, I believe in Baton Rouge, right, Steve?
Yes.
And asked to assume the role of president-elect. He graciously accepted because that's the person he is, perhaps without knowing exactly what he was in for. When he accepted the role of president in Alexandria, Virginia, he said he is committed to service. And I've heard him say that many times throughout this past year and in the time that I've worked with him on the EC. So I know that to be true about Steve. He led SACRAO through some of our most difficult times as an organization due to financial hardships. Not anything to rehash, we're all aware of those things, but that's a difficult thing to go through, and his leadership has proven to be so strong. Little did he know that he would also lead the organization during a pandemic. As was the case on all of our college campuses, knowing what the next steps for SACRAO would be didn't come with any automatic answers. We're all familiar with that. This is where Steve stands out among the rest. He led with confidence our organization through the most chaotic times in our history, both as an organization and as a country. Always thoughtful and inclusive in transacting the business of the organization. Steve served during a financial crisis for this organization and rebuilt the reserves, which this organization will always be indebted to him. Those of you that know Steve know he is kind, calm, and committed to doing the best job possible for SACRAO. He expected no less from each executive committee member. I will always be indebted to Steve for his guidance this past year. Steve, many of you don't know this except for those on the EC, but he's been trying to get impeached. He's been trying to maybe be impeached for the last couple of weeks now. But there were no takers on the EC, which means that we're here today. He's here today to be honored for his outstanding service to SACRAO as president. I am honored to offer Steve the gratitude he deserves for his strength, leadership, commitment, and service on behalf of SACRAO. Steve, congratulations, and from a grateful organization, we're indebted to you.
Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate those kind words. Thank you. Did you have any other comments you're going to make?
I do. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. This whole flow thing, you know.
Yes.
So I won't take very long. Good afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed the first ever SACRAO virtual conference in what I believe most of you in the EC would call a huge success. We only had a couple of little technical snafus yesterday with a couple of corporate partners. I even had to send an email to the EC this morning because my team session worked for a meeting. I said, it worked. So it's gone very well, but not without a lot of work from your EC. I'm so grateful to the program VPs, the committee chairs, and members for their outstanding work producing a great program. What's not the usual 80+ sessions, the 17 sessions presented were outstanding. We're able to have presenters from outside of SACRAO because of the virtual platform. We had presenters from Homeland Security, from Puget Sound, from Oregon, from Indiana, from literally all over the place. The program committees, chairs, and VPs just did a tremendous job. 850 people registered for the SACRAO virtual conference. And we leaned heavily on our EC member institutions for Zoom and Teams resources to present this conference. So if you get a chance, please reach out and say thank you to those people. Volunteerism is what makes SACRAO the organization of strength, professionalism, and service that it is. We had 20 corporate partner sessions, and we're so thankful for their continued commitment to our profession, organization, members, and institutions. So as I transition to the role of President of SACRAO, it's a cause for reflecting on lots of years in SACRAO. Too many, I'm not going to tell you how many, because, you know, a woman just doesn't admit her age, right? But SACRAO, being the volunteer organization it is, from day one, in my first conference in Fort Worth, Texas, in 19 blah, 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 I'm not going to say the rest of it, someone's been saying, get involved, make the most of your experience. So little did I know many years ago, my involvement would result in lifelong friendships, boundless opportunities, and boundless opportunities. SACRAOans through the years, from not only my home state of Texas, but also Kentucky, have graciously mentored me. I've made mentoring a priority throughout my career because of people that have impacted my life. Like Fred Russell, who hired a really young girl who needed a job very badly. John Edwards, Jerry Smith, many more people like that who had confidence in me when I didn't even have it in myself. And helping someone else get to where they want to be is truly the best part of all of the interactions with my colleagues I've had over the years. It's, you know, it's the icing on the cake. I got a text from a person that I mentored. We raised her in the registrar's office at East Texas State University, and she's been named the interim registrar at Texas State. And, you know, I have other people like that in my life that I'm so proud of. You know, as a young professional, my first involvement in SACRAO was to moderate a session. And that can be pretty overwhelming just to stand in front of a crowd and introduce someone. So to move on to committees and chairs, committee chair and an LAC 3 times on the LAC, once as the chair. Now, if you want to volunteer for an LAC. That's a good place to start, isn't it, Megan, Karen, other people on the, and Hope who've been LACs. Lost my train of thought here. But the friendships that I have developed in SACRAO over the years and the willingness of all of the people that are involved with SACRAO, where I could pick up the phone and call someone if I needed something. People are so unselfish and willing to share. That's what makes SACRAO such a wonderful organization. So I hope that young people who may be watching today that are wondering whether they should get involved, and they're seeing some older people on the screen here who are on the EC and in leadership roles, don't be afraid to get involved and give it your time and your attention and your service. So becoming President SACRAO has been a dream of mine. I'm both honored and humbled by the confidence you've placed in me to lead SACRAO. I promise to honor your confidence of service to all the membership, continued financial responsibility, helping build the organization back to a required level of financial stability, sustainability, maintaining and enhancing corporate partner relationships, and transparency from the executive committee. This past year has been difficult on our campuses and in our lives. If our first ever virtual conferences revealed anything to me, it's that SACRAO has a mission ahead to serve more of our membership and not just those that can make it to an in-person conference. So I look forward to working with Steve and John and the rest of the executive committee that's staying on, and our new EC members. And thank you so much to each of you who attended the virtual conference and made this a success. And thank you again for your confidence in me. Steve, thank you so much for your guidance.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Look forward to your presidency. And I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do without the impeachment part at the end. And now we're going to go to Megan Mitchell with prizes.
All right, so again, I get to just do all the fun stuff. This has been a really great experience for me. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, of our prize wheel. All right, so today we have 6 $25 Amazon gift cards, and those are coming to us from IEE. So again, thanks to them. So I'm going to shuffle those names for everybody and spin for the 6 $25 gift cards from IEE. Hannah Rhodes. Brenda Schumann, congratulations. Jean Walker. Eric Coach. Christina Hood. And our final drawing for the 6 $25 Amazon cards from IEE is Sabrina Delaney. And we will get those emailed out to you all. You did not have to be present to win. We will use the conference registration list to get emailed to you all. We have a few more left. We've got two $25 Reward Genius gift cards sponsored by Parchment. And then our final for today is a very generous $100 gift card from Reward Genius by Parchment. So we're going to spend for the two $25 Reward Genius first. Scott Argo gets a $25 Reward Genius gift card by Parchment. And Tracy Reese. And our final big money winner with the $100 Reward Genius gift card goes to Sergio Sija. So congratulations, everybody. You will be emailed with your prize information. So congratulations, everybody.
Thanks again, everyone, for your attendance. To the current EC members and future EC members, or no, the now current EC members. Sorry about that. You'll get an email from me. We'll be meeting shortly. The SACRAO 2021 virtual conference is adjourned with my gavel that Steve passed right through the screen to me. Bye, everybody.